So as spoken last week in the week ahead preview, this week is really about monetary policy as we have the Jackson Hole Symposium that's going to be held between Thursday to Saturday in the US. But as things stand right now, suddenly at the start of this week, we have seen thin volumes trading in the market with the likes of the Straits Times Index and also the US S&P 500 Index both trading below their 15-day moving average in terms of volume, and that itself had actually really made for light markets. But that said, recent sentiment have largely been driving what's happening within the equity markets. On Monday, the US and North Korea's military drills itself actually invited some of these comments from North Korea, including words like merciless revenge itself. Although up till now, at this current moment, we have yet to see any actions, and that has certainly helped the risk sentiment abate and also global equity markets to continue ticking up into Wednesday here in Asia. So with that said, certainly we are seeing a lot of these movements being captured in risk assets, with the likes of gold prices itself declining to trade below 1285 levels, and the US Treasury itself eyeing the 2.2% level. But that said, I would think that a lot of this sentiment, especially this risk sentiment itself, is really what the market has been focusing on. Is likely to be a lingering concern, whether it comes from North Korea or the US politics, domestic politics itself. I do think that any of this heightening of risk sentiment could once again affect gold prices and do eye any break on the upside above 1295 level, and I will be happy to long on over that. That said, looking at the rest of this week, what are some of the key items that we are going to look at and some of the trading ideas around these events? So with the Jackson Hole meeting that's going to be held into the end of this week, I would think a lot of these movements will be captured within the currencies market. Of course, before that, on Wednesday today, here we have the market PMI that's going to come through, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on the manufacturing PMI numbers from both the Eurozone as of 4 p.m. here in Singapore, and also the US numbers later on. So the market's current consensus is expecting both the numbers itself to actually close some of this gap, and that itself forms a very bearish bias for the Euro-US dollar pair. But really the risk event is going to lie into the end of this week, with Friday Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen due to speak, and 5 hours later we have ECB President Mario Draghi appearing as well. So the market itself really is mixed in terms of what to expect. Some people are saying that we could hear from Fed Yellen, while others are not so optimistic that she's going to share anything new. But meanwhile, despite the news that we have heard regarding ECB President not giving any short-term monetary policy views, the market is also seeing this as a key risk event as well. As things stand right now, I do think that a lot of this focus will probably be with the Federal Reserve, given what we have heard that mixed views coming through in the previous week, and any of these movements could really be captured by the currency market. I will continue to look to Euro-US dollar as one of these key pair to trade into the end of this week. And should any dovish comments come through from ECB President Mario Draghi, I think the downside sets Euro-US dollar towards 1.17 level, and on the upside, any break above 1.188 itself might see the momentum actually increase in the rally end. So with that said, we do look a little bit at the Asian markets as well. So for the Singapore Local Straits Times Index, since the start of this week, we have some of this sentiment abating, and that has really helped the Singapore Straits Times Index to halt that continuous decline that we have seen in the past few sessions. And as things stand around moving to the end of this week, I do think that's something to continue watching for. But of course, with the oil report that's going to be due today, and also industrial production numbers due on Friday, I do think that there's still a lot to look at for the Local Straits Times Index as well.